Hello and welcome to Only Fanatic. In today's episode, we're going to be dissecting this contraption, a Clay Diffuser. Now, why might you want a Clay Diffuser? Two reasons: oxygen and clay. First, let's look at clay. Clay is one of the key ingredients in the production of ceramic. Ceramic requires a kiln, some coal, and clay. And the second reason for a clay diffuser is the production of oxygen. Taking a look quickly here at the ventilation overlay, you can see that the clay diffuser produces enough oxygen to run our entire base. Here I'm drawing a little more than 2 kilograms per second. So let's take a look at the details. Polluted water will off-gas a small amount of polluted oxygen when the tile immediately above it is a gas, and the gas pressure is 1,800 grams or less. The clay diffuser is a contraption that is built around that one game mechanic. The polluted oxygen that is off-gassed, we filter with deodorizers and sand to produce oxygen. The oxygen we then collect with gas pumps to feed into our base. A byproduct of filtering polluted oxygen into oxygen that is produced from the deodorizers is clay. The clay we pick up, shunt onto conveyor rails, and send that up to our kilns to be produced into ceramic. Essentially, there's just a room composed of floors of polluted water. To create one of these, you want to create a room that's separated from the rest of your base with a liquid lock. And this is to ensure that there are only two gases present in the clay diffuser: oxygen and polluted oxygen. Once you've created a liquid lock and vacuumed the room out, above each floor of polluted water, you want to lay down a row of mesh tiles. And then above each mesh tile, you want to place a deodorizer. Now you can run these with duplicate labor, but I found it's best to fully automate it so that your duplicates aren't spending their time constantly refilling the deodorizers or picking up clay. So let's take a look at the shipping next. For shipping, we have one incoming rail that's full of sand and one outgoing rail where we pick up and export clay. The incoming sand is routed to conveyor receptacles on each floor of the clay diffuser, and these we just spam around the clay diffuser in such a way to ensure that there is an auto sweeper able to retrieve sand and keep every deodorizer constantly fed without any duplicate labor. And then similarly, we spam conveyor loaders so that the auto sweepers can pick up any clay that's produced from deodorizers and ship those out the outgoing clay rail. Now the shape doesn't particularly matter. This is a somewhat awkward shape here because I was squeezing this in between my industrial sauna and a pool of naphtha. You really just need a box and floors of polluted water. Next, let's take a look more closely at the ventilation overlay. So each floor of the Clay Diffuser has 2 gas pumps. 2 gas pumps are sufficient to saturate an entire ventilation pipe. So each floor has 2. The gas pumps will pick up mostly oxygen, but occasionally they will pick up a small amount of polluted oxygen, as you can see up here. The oxygen we're routing directly to our base, and we're also routing it to atmospheric docks. So we don't want to route polluted oxygen to either of those. In order to prevent that, we're using a powerless gas filter. This powerless gas filter loop is a trick that I got from Tony Advanced. I'll link to his video in the description. The gas filter is set to pick up any polluted oxygen that's generated from the Clay Diffuser and route it right back in. The polluted oxygen that gets routed in is then hopefully picked up by the deodorizers and generated into normal oxygen. Each of the gas pumps is connected to an Atmos sensor set to enable the gas pump so long as the air pressure is above 750 grams. This is here just to make sure that we're not wasting power pumping air when the pressure falls too low. The pressure can fall too low if you try to draw too much oxygen out of the contraption than can be generated from the deodorizers. So this is here just as a safety mechanism to make sure that you're not wasting power running the pumps and not drawing enough oxygen. Each floor of polluted oxygen is fed from an incoming polluted water pipe with a liquid vent on each floor. The liquid vent is enabled by a hydrosensor on each floor that's set to 950 kilos. And this is just here to make sure that we don't accidentally flood the floors with too much water and have the polluted water spread on top of the deodorizers. And then finally we have a manual airlock that is kept locked. This is just to make sure that all of the work to keep the deodorizers fed and pick up the clay produced from them is done by the auto sweepers and not duplicates. And that's it. I hope that you consider building a Clay Diffuser in your base, and thanks for watching. Have a great rest of your day.